Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It's Thoughts from a Table That's Round.
Creative.
Today we're talking about such a good film. People call it the greatest cinema of our generation. It's the classic story. I don't know where I'm going with this, but it's The Marksman by Liam Neeson.
It's the classic tale of down-to-earth American man thrust into a situation that he doesn't want to be in, but he is most certainly the best option out of anyone to be in it.
He's also an ex-Marine.
Of course, he's Liam Neeson. When is he ever not a Marine?
Let's just get right into this.
Okay.
Please join us at the round.
Yeah. So, this movie is weird for a lot of reasons, but these reasons are all quite charming, to say the least. Basically, this is the movie about Liam Neeson, an ex-Marine. Stop me when you heard this one before. He owns a ranch, right?
Mm-hmm.
The ranch is right next to the Mexican border.
Mm-hmm.
Comes across a couple of IAs, as he calls them.
Illegal aliens.
And then the cartel comes, and basically, take your guess on what happens next. Liam Neeson versus cartel, one-on organization. It is a real astounding tale of... There's not really a message here.
No. I tried to look for one. Couldn't find it.
No, Liam has a dog in this movie, and he has wavering stances on border control.
In heaven.
Yeah, really perplexing.
And life. Let's just start at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
He's on his ranch, and then he's gonna lose it. And then he meets a family on the border, and he calls them in. And you thought he wasn't, but guess what? He's not soft. He's not.
He's calling the cops on these illegal aliens.
He doesn't care if they are family or not. He says, you broke the law, now you're going to do the time. But, unfortunately for the mom, she's not going to do any time because she dies.
She's going to do a lot more time in heaven.
Yeah.
Because
or
she's dead.
Maybe not, according to Liam.
Time in the ground.
Yeah. Anyway. So he turns the kid in, gets him the help. The kid's mad at him because he turned him in. And then he's like, wait, I feel bad for what I've done. And there's also money involved, and I need to save my ranch. So let's break the kid out and go on a mission to Chicago to give him back to his family.
And it's classic Dog Days from there.
Yeah.
Dog Days, the Diver Wimpy Kid road trip movie.
Yeah.
It's a road trip.
Road trip.
Except, instead of all the quirky stops that Greg and his family takes, he's being pursued by the Mexican cartel for really and truthfully a pretty unknown reason. Mostly, the movie, I think, wants you to think that like it's about money, but it could also be about the fact that Liam, in his rage, killed the Mexican cartel's man's brother.
Yeah. Essentially, he quick-scoped him, too.
Liam never uses really his scope except for one time in the movie.
It's great to see Liam Neeson not miss a shot.
How could he? He's Liam Neeson.
Yeah. Anyway, so, yeah, the cartel's after him, and they have to make a few pit stops. Let's talk about the pit stops, the best parts. One of them is with a British mechanic.
This is rural America, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, actually, we skipped one. The gas station. He stops at the gas station to get an atlas. And I just assumed everyone knows what an atlas is, but there's a woman working the counter who looks older than us.
Yeah.
And she says, what's an atlas?
This is very a pro-old person movie.
Yeah, this movie is made for, like, one group. 65-year-old white men. Because this is like those action movies. It's like Hunt for the Red October, where, like, everyone our parents' age is like, what a great film. Because it's an action movie, but, like, also a political thriller. And, like, old people, namely old men, are just, obsessed with war movies.
Almost unhealthily.
Yeah, they're like, I love war movies. And this one just really hits it home because they talk about being a good soldier. Anyway.
And it's so contrived in a lot of places, which just makes it better. Because Liam comes in and he's like, I need an atlas. And she's like, oh, you mean what? And he's like, a map. And he's like, well, you can look over there. We don't sell them. People nowadays just use their phones. And then Liam's like scoffs and he brings it back over. He's like, guess it's my lucky day.
And that the phone thing doesn't end there. There's another part where we talk about phones.
Liam hates cell phones.
Yeah, his little friend who he picked up. I think we forgot to mention. Yeah, no, we talked about how he broke the little kid out of prison. Anyway, They go on a road trip to Chicago, and the little kid's like, why don't you just use a phone? He's like, don't need them. And he's like, oh, because you don't like them because you're old? And he's like, no, just don't have anyone who needs to call me. I like it that way.
Liam has so many good one-liners in this movie that it's insane. Every time Liam talks, it's really funny.
It's the voice of a prophet.
He takes the kid out to a diner,
mm-hmm.
and at this diner, the kid's just sitting looking at his hamburger, and Liam's like, "You gotta be hungry," and the kid's like, just looking at him. He just takes a big bite of the sandwich. Liam just, knew it. That's it.
Yeah.
Cut.
Next scene. So they stop to get their car fixed at the British mechanic, and he's like, can you fix the car? And he's like, it'll take a couple days for the part to get in. He's like, I need it now. He's like, well, I can patch it up. And he says, okay. And then he's like, but I have to do it tomorrow. We close at 6. Liam's like, oh no, it's past 6. And so they're like, we'll just spend the night here. They go to a little bar. It looked like a bar. I don't know how they let the kid in. And they order some food. They eat, drink, be merry. And then the kid goes shopping he steals his wallet to go get some food for the morning. And he comes back with Pop-Tarts. And Liam says, next time, I'm shopping. Oh, what a classic line. They fixed the car.
What's fun about these little pit stops that we go on also is that they always cut back to the Mexican cartel following them along their same road stop because they're tracking Liam's credit card.
Yeah.
How they got Liam's credit card?
It doesn't really say.
No, they just have it. But they're tracking his credit card, and the guy always comes in, and then he kills the person that Liam talked to.
Yeah.
So the girl who didn't know what an atlas was, dead. What? He's like, which way did they go? And she's like, I don't know. He's like, can I see the cameras? And she's like, no. He just shoots her.
Yeah.
And then he just angrily tears out the box. This is what's absurd to me about these movies that made by people that are supposed to be this way. It's like that, that badass thing. Like, oh, I'm in a hurry. Let me just tear out the electronic device.
Yeah.
But, these guys are not in a hurry, He could just unplug the box. Or better yet, just take the tape out.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be a better use of his time.
Than, tearing it and then putting it in a car. What is he going to plug it into in that car?
Yeah.
They don't ever get out of the car.
No. Yeah, let's talk about the next stop.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of my favorites. Another great one-liner from this scene. They're driving, just vibing or whatever. And a cop is following them. And then the cop pulls him over. Liam, the gentleman he is. He says, what seems to be the problem, officer? He's like, looks like you got into a little fight or whatever he said. And there, there's bullets from the drug cartel showdown that happened earlier. And Liam's like, yes.
You got any guns on you, sir?
And then he tells him, like a badass.
I got a Colt 45 under the floorboard here, and then a rifle in the back, both registered.
Yeah.
Liam's not carrying around any illegal weapons.
No. So Liam hands him the guns. He puts them in the trunk. The cop does. Puts them in his trunk. And, so he's like, can you get out of the car? I got to talk to the kid. And Liam's like, sure, don't mind if I do. Gets in the officer's backseat. Notices the officer doesn't say anything to the child. And he says, Liam gets back. He's like, Jude, sit in the car, please. And Liam's like, how much did they pay you to betray the badge you're wearing? Because the cop is working for the cartel. It just... What a lie.
How much did they pay you to betray the badge?
This also follows the theme of this movie of not Liam Neeson hating the government. And pretty much the director hating any part of the government at all.
This is quite possibly the most libertarian movie I've ever seen in my life.
It was hilariously so. What another great Liam Neeson line that I just forgot, but it's now coming back when he's like, wouldn't be a problem if the government was down here doing their job.
And you're sitting there in the audience, you're like, damn right, Liam.
You tell him.
You get that government.
Get him.
He's sitting there, he's at a bar drinking, and his stepdaughter comes in. It's like, Liam, what are you doing here at the bar again? And he's like, I've been asking myself that same question all day. Just like, we gotta get you home. And wouldn't be a problem if the government would just get down here and do their jobs. And she's just like, oh, Liam. He's like, I'm just sitting here wondering how a man serves his country and then doesn't have a pot to piss in.
And pays his taxes, too.
Yeah, serves his country, pays his taxes, and doesn't even have a pot to piss in. Damn right, Liam.
You tell him. Get him.
Get him. He's the everyman.
Yeah. So Liam and the boy get away just in time to see the cartel come to the cop and shoot him.
Yeah.
Pow. You know? So the cartel leaves and the boys are off again. And they stop at a hotel for the night because Liam... Wait, no, they get guns first.
Yeah, this is one of the funniest parts of this.
Probably my favorite scene in the movie.
The gun shop scene. Liam pulls into a small town. Really not unlike any small town you'd pass on any major road trip. Pulls into the local gunsmith. Says, hello, sir, I'm going to need to buy a big rifle with a scope and a pistol. And he's like, well, it'll be a couple days till your background check's done. And just showing the good people of America, Liam says, I don't got that time. Listen, I got some bad people following me right now, and I'm going to need these guns to defend myself. I fought in Nam 2 tours. I had a gun shop looks at him. I had a brother who fought in Nam.
He didn't come back.
We lost a lot of good men.
Damn right.
The shop owner looks retrospective in nature. He says, Liam, I could lose my license if I give you these guns. But if they get put in the wrong hands, I'll just report them as stolen. Liam looks at him. I understand. It walks out.
This is my favorite scene. It just shows you Liam Neeson, another man of the people, fighting for their right to carry. And Liam Neeson, one of the main tropes throughout Liam Neeson's movies is he's made some choices, now he's got to deal with them.
Yeah, I forgot that line.
Yeah, he says, I hope you're not doing anything illegal. I've made some choices, now I have to deal with them. Isn't it funny how Liam Neeson's accent seems American, but he's from Northern Ireland?
But he doesn't change his accent. You know, like Tom Holland, right? He plays a lot of Americans. He always puts on like a Brooklyn accent almost.
Yeah.
Liam just speaks like a Northern Ireland man.
Yeah.
And everyone's just like, this dude can't not be from America. Like, this is the most violently American Irishman I've ever seen.
This movie was violently American.
It was so pro-America, which is very surprising in,
Hollywood.
Yeah. How did this movie get made? I don't know. Who approved it? I've never seen a movie on the big screen that is, pro-border control.
Yeah. First time for everything, I guess.
I'm glad Liam's there to represent it.
Yeah. So after that, they take a couple after the gun store, Liam feels bad about what he's done, stealing a child from prison and all, and calls his stepdaughter and says, "Hey, I'm here. Come get us." She says, "Okay, don't mind if I do." And so they stay at a hotel. Liam pays cash so they don't follow his credit card. And the people come anyway. Does it really say how that happened?
No. They found him.
Yeah, but how is what I'm saying.
They found him.
Oh.
They located him using... No, wait. No, that... Okay. Okay, wait. He doesn't pay with his credit card. No, actually, I have no idea how they found him.
But they found the hotel he was staying at.
Yeah, they were there.
And they find his room, too. And that Liam and the boy escape just barely.
Before we get to the escape, though, we gotta talk about one part that I found just hilarious while they were in the hotel.
Okay.
And that's the boy talking to Liam about his wife. Because if you don't know in this, Liam's wife is dead.
Yeah.
Just like in almost every Liam Neeson movie.
Someone in his family has died recently.
He's mourning, but he's strong. Kind of like a statue. And he's like, "Oh, are you married?" And he's like, "Used to be." It's like, "Oh, what happened?" "Dead. Cancer, one nasty son of a bitch of a disease." I don't know, I just really like that line.
I did too.
I thought it was cool.
Everything sounds cool coming out of his mouth.
Like,
yeah, they have a nice, sweet heart-to-heart in the hotel room.
mm-hmm.
Liam and the child. Their relationship kind of reminds me of Mandalorian and Baby Yoda.
Kind of.
You think that's what it's based on?
No.
Oh.
I think this was just, like we talked about on the car trip home, I'm pretty sure this is just Liam Neeson.
You think he just has dreams? Like, he dreams in movies like this? He's like, I need to get this made.
I posted like a tweet last night about Liam Neeson. And I think it pretty much sums up my entire thoughts, but I want to pull it up so I don't butcher my own words. But I said, just saw Liam Neeson's new movie, and I'm becoming more and more convinced that Liam is no longer even attempting to play different characters. I'm pretty sure this is just him.
I think it is. I think this is how he would react to this situation, not his character.
I can't decide if it's A, Liam is no longer playing characters, or if B, Liam has lost any semblance of who he really is and is now living vicariously through the characters.
I don't mean to be this guy, but there is a chance of that because he is, 68 years old.
Do you think they refer to him on set by the character name? Like, "Jim, we need you to come out here and film some scenes."
No. I think that they have definitely had takes where people forget he's acting and call him Liam.
Yeah.
I feel like he carries himself the same in every movie, and it's not acting anymore.
It's just like a director like grabbing Liam Neeson. I almost wonder if Liam even has a script in any of these movies, or if it's just the characters around him that have a script.
And he's ad-libbing.
Yeah. The director's just really confident that, like, Liam knows the answer.
I wouldn't even be surprised.
Liam doesn't know what movies he signs into. Director puts him in a place, and, like, these immigrants come out onto the road, and Liam's just like, "What am I gonna do with you guys?"
He forgets. If there weren't cameras around, he'd be like, "This is just my life." Anyway, at the hotel, the boys escape barely, but not without a vital member of the crew. Liam's dog, Jackson. The best dog there is. Liam goes to get him because the dog was pooping. And the dog starts barking at the cartel. And then they shoot him. Excuse me. Can we give a moment of silence for Jackson?
I think that's appropriate.
I have something to say about the dog dying. There was a lady on the way out of the movie theater who said, "I was fine when the mom died, but I started crying when they shot the dog."
And that woman's a target demographic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
If you start crying at a Liam Neeson movie, there's a lot that you need to work on as a person.
And they have a funeral for the dog, and the kid is like, he's in heaven now. And then another Liam Neeson one-liner of him just being an asshole. There is no heaven. He's dead right there.
My dog's in the ground.
That's
not where he should be. Why, Liam? Why?
Why must you say that? The kid's mom just died.
That is just so. It's just truly heartless. The kid's obviously like believing this and like holding on, like, you know. Well, the dog's in heaven with my mom. Heaven ain't real, kid. Your mom's in the ground. And that's not where she should be.
And yeah, sad. They go to the church. Another good scene.
Oh yeah, the kid's like, I just wish that you had a beautiful funeral for Jackson. I just wish that my mom would have a proper funeral. And they go to the church.
And a random pastor says some words. And then walks out.
Which, like, I don't know how familiar you guys listening are with the church system. But that is not what a pastor would do.
I'm 95% sure that's not it.
Maybe that's like just a, different denomination, different folks, different strokes. I highly doubt that a pastor, one, lets two strangers in the church and performs a random funeral without asking any questions. And two, leaves with the two stranger, one both beaten and obviously distressed with bullet holes in the truck, in a church unattended.
They'll be all right.
Surely they wouldn't do anything wrong.
Yeah. Our next scenes. We got the movie's not over. The roller coasters of emotions continue. Liam and the boy, after the funeral, they we need to continue to Chicago. But the cartel has gotten smart. And they know that he's going to Chicago. So they place people on overpasses to find where the truck drives past. And finally, they find it. And so Liam sees it and says, we need to turn and take some back roads. Turns off road. And guess what? As they're on the back roads, they see the Chevy Blazer or Suburban
Yeah,
they've been running from. It's the cartel.
Oh my gosh.
And so they're getting ready to come up on a crossroads, and they're both going full speed, and Liam brakes, turns around as the cartel spins out. And so Liam turns around, and then the hose in the radiator bust again.
Call back, guys. Liam wouldn't wait to get that thing fixed. It was only patched. Patch broke.
A true shame.
Don't you love when cinema makers, set something up and then deliver?
So Liam says, we gotta stop. It's time to make our final stand. He pulls the truck in the middle of the road, pulls out the rifle, and waits.
Kid says, Liam, they're gonna kill us.
Not if I do first. And he scopes up, waits for the Suburban to pass the hill, and when it does, he shoots the driver right in the noggin. Clean. Doesn't even think about missing.
How could he?
And so the passenger tries to take over, and then guess what? A truly beautiful work of art as Liam shoots the tire, and the car flies forward, doing a complete flip forward.
Now, I'm not sure if any of you guys have essentially popped a tire before, but I have.
As have I.
And if there's one thing I love in my movies, it's accuracy. When I popped my tire driving at a pretty reasonable speed, immediately my car was lurched up about 50 feet in the air and did a couple somersaults and then landed on its on its head.
As did mine. Oh wait, no it didn't, because that doesn't happen. Your car might spin out. I'm 95% sure someone has got a flat tire and just did somersaults forward.
Let's go over a couple theories that I have on why the car acted that way.
Okay.
Theory number 1, Liam Neeson forgot that he was playing Jim for a second and reverted back to Qui-Gon Jinn, using the Force to chuck the car into the air.
I like it. It's plausible.
Theory number 2, in this universe, tires are more like a balloon, and when one gets popped, all the air squirts out, and it flies around stupidly until it's deflated.
Yep.
Theory number 3, the bullet that he fired was a spring bullet. When it hit the tire, not only did it pop it, but it also expanded into something more like a slinky, that as the car lurched forward, compressed the slinky. Slinky then reverted that kinetic energy, flipping the car upside down, landing on its head.
I have one.
Yeah.
As soon as he popped the tire, they ran into a pit of molasses. The tires become stuck and flip the car forward. I think it's either the spring one or that one.
Yeah.
The Qui-Gon one's also plausible. I wouldn't rule it out. What a scene. What a scene. But guess what? The final stand isn't over. They run to a barn to make their second final stand. Where Liam snipes 2 of the 3 with the remaining bad guy left. Coming for the kid. He succeeds.
He gets the kid.
Holds him hostage. He says, drop the gun, Liam. Liam obeys. He can't hurt the kid. It was his mission. They get into a tussle. He stabs Liam and shoots him a couple times. Don't forget. Because this is important for later. They tussle. Liam wins. And shoots it. Well, no, not yet. Liam gets the advantage. The kid has a gun on the guy who killed his mom. Liam says, give me the gun. You're not going to kill him today.
Kid's
Liam
wavering.
He wants him to remain pure.
The kid wants revenge. Now, we've seen earlier in this movie that the kid says, Liam, I'm gonna fucking kill all the men who killed my mom. And Liam said, there's no pleasure you feel taking another man's life after teaching him how to shoot a gun. I also like the lead up to that question. Liam, have you killed anyone before? Yeah. You were a soldier, right? Just kill a lot of men? Yep. I want to kill men. No. It's so... Alright, continue. This is a dramatic scene.
Yeah. He says, you're not killing him. Give me the gun. But for Liam to receive the gun, he has to loosen his grip. He loosens grip, grabs gun, shot in the stomach. But it's not over. He's still kicking. He says, get out of here, kid. And the whole discussion about choice comes back.
You see, when Liam was confronted in the barn by the cartel man, with the kid held hostage, he said, I'm going to make this kid a soldier. Liam says, no. He says, I've got to. I never had a choice. The culmination of everything we've watched so far, everything Liam's fought for, he looks at this man who he's bested on the ground. Man is wriggling in pain. Surely will die. And Liam says, you know what? Tosses the gun on the ground. Now you have a choice. The choice of whether to kill yourself or bleed out.
But you might think, wow, not much of a choice. It's the same outcome.
Not to Liam.
He has a choice. To die with some honor. Or to die a loser. He kills himself. But guess what? You think, wow, it's not over yet. No! There's more! They are essentially hitchhiking at this point to Chicago. And they get there. Liam walks the boy to the house he was supposed to take him to. And just like the wind, he's gone. When the boy looks around.
Where did Liam go?
He went to a bus. Do you know where the bus is going? Neither do we.
Neither does Liam.
Just going. And Liam opens his jacket, realizes, oh yeah, I've been stabbed and shot a couple times.
Days ago.
Yeah. And lays his head to rest. It is time for the old dog to die. But does he die? It's an open-ended question, you know?
We as the audience don't know.
Did they just set up the Marksman 2?
One can only hope.
What a film.
What a film. You know, we're left at the end to grapple with our own reality, you know? Did Liam Neeson die protecting the kid? Did he live and just had blood stains on his shirt because he hasn't changed his shirt that he's looking at? Was he just tired, or was he tired eternally? Leads us into some important questions that we can start asking, you know, about ourselves. You know, is it time us old dogs run out of new tricks?
Sure.
You know, what makes a hero?
Is this a parable for Liam's acting career? The last 3 stabs were his last 3 movies. The Silent Thief, The Marksman, and whatever comes next. And after that, it is time for the 68-year-old Liam Neeson to pass away.
Liam is a lot like Batman from The Dark Knight. Strong, heroic, a king, one might say, of his own world. And at the end of The Dark Knight, we see Jim Gordon looking over Batman as he runs away, knowing that Batman will be blamed for the crimes. And his son says, "Daddy, why is he running?" Because we'll chase him. Why? Because he can take it. And that's Liam Neeson.
The film critics will chase him. But he's what the American people need, not what we want.
People will say his movies are bad. People will parade him, but he won't stop. Because that's not in his nature. Liam doesn't give up just because he loses one fight.
Just because he has a 32% on his new movie on Rotten Tomatoes.
Liam looks at that and says, huh.
I bet I can do worse.
And I think that's beautiful.
A beautiful ending, a poetic ending, a parable for life, a parable for border control, a parable for everything. A truly beautiful film. Liam is a Christ figure.
Yeah, I don't know how much I can add to this. Guys, thank you for watching.
It's been a great roller coaster of a podcast. I can't recommend this movie enough, but if you've seen one Liam Neeson movie, you've seen them all. So, take that as you will.
I hope you enjoyed. And we'll see you next Monday when we talk about Mank.
I think so.
Mank!
Exciting stuff.
Exciting stuff. We might get an actual serious podcast.
One could call this a complete 180 of what we just did.
Yeah. Take that as you will. You subscribe to this channel, so eat our content, you fucking sheeple.
Thumbs up. Bye now.